Welcome to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us this week on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the CEP's Equine Studios with Dancin Pete Roeder from Complimentary Horsemanship, my co-host and my companion this weekend for all the fun excitement that happened at World Equestrian Centre, and we have a phenomenal lineup for you because we have top equestrians on the show tonight. Actually replacing Dr. Adam Kayott this week, we have Sean Wardley, and everybody knows who that is. Do I need
Who's
to
Sean
say more?
Wardley?
Oh, can I please roll my eyes?
Some people might not know.
He's a top equestrian show jumper who often represents his home country and wins lots of main competitions around the world, as well as here at home at HITS and World Equestrian Centre and a number of other places.
So if you go Saturday night, you're going to hear his name.
That's right, yes. And he also is part owner of Wardley Martin Equestrian Services as well. And he also has another design company that can kind of take care of everything. If you're building a farm or revamping a farm, he can come in and kind of tell you how to set everything up as well. So he has a number of assignments, hats that he wears. But we have him with Tommy Turner from Equifensa, Florida, who is becoming very famous apparently because there are people who have seen him on the show who told us that at the expo. We're also going to show you some of the amazing All for the Horses Expo footage as well. We are also going to have a demo that Pete and Pat did at Pat Myers Electric at All for the Horses Expo. Then we have two Irishmen for you who, luck of the Irish they call it, but I don't think so. I think it must be the skill. We have Michael Blake, who is chef de keep the Team Ireland, and we also have Daniel Coyle, who stopped and had a little short chat with us as well, who of course won at Live Oak International in the Grand Prix at the week before. Yes, and came right back and was part of this winning team again this weekend. The excitement was amazing, the drone show. We're going to share all of that good stuff with you later on in the show. And then we have episode 1 of Flynn with the Mustang. And if you are listening on 97.3 The Sky on Saturday morning, go to our Facebook page, like it, and watch it there, or go on your smart TV or on your phone to Equus TV Network, and you can find the Horse Talk Show on there too, and that way you can actually watch this. It's good to listen. There's lots of good tips, but even better if you get to actually watch it as well.
Who's playing with Flynn?
Pete, Dancing Pete, and the Mustang.
There you go.
I want to do a shout out before we get to anything else for a dear friend of ours, Neil Hennessy. He is the owner of Ocala Dog Ranch, which is an absolutely incredible facility that we are so fortunate to have here, actually right across from the Live Oak International premises. But I want to say a little prayer out for him. He actually lost his dog of 17 years this week, Valentino. He had a big, long, fancy name. But listen, I can't say anybody else whose dog I'd rather be if I was a dog than Neil Hennessy's, because he is top-notch. His facility's top-notch. Care of the dogs is top-notch. And I know this dog was loved for 17 years, and 17 years is such a fine, long life for a dog. So we're sad for him, but we're also glad that he had such a great owner and such a wonderful, loving life, and was jumping and catching balls less than a week ago. So he really did live a full life. And
And went quick.
Yes, and even though it's sad, it's better, like you said, than a long, drawn-out, more hurtful process. But Neil, even in his time, stopped by right before the show to bring me my very favourite thing at Easter time, which is English Easter eggs, and I didn't know I was going to get one this year. So.
I get to have my first.
I know, and you're going to tell you what, you'll be hooked because it's some of the most delicious chocolate in the entire world. So very thankful to Neil. We love him dearly. Our prayers and thoughts go out to him. We know that four-leggeds aren't with us long enough, ever. We love them dearly, whether we rescued them, bought them, borrowed them and ended up keeping them.
He said he was born in the closet.
He was born in his closet.
So he's had him since day one.
Yeah, so what a lovely life Valentino had. So we love you, Neil, and our thoughts and prayers are with you at this time. And thank you for still having time for us.
Yeah,
Check out Ocala.
That means a lot when somebody's having that kind of hurt and still makes the time for your friends. That's huge. We appreciate you, Neil.
He's a super special guy, isn't he? We got to throw some big congrats out to another friend of ours. It's pretty amazing to be the world champion colt starter, and that would be Tick Maynard, who is a resident right here, Copperline Farm in Citra. So congratulations to him. That's his first ever buckle, apparently, that he's won.
And he's wearing a cowboy hat.
And he's wearing a cowboy hat. And by the way, he's a top eventer and jumper as well, so he's an all-around cowboy. But very excited for him. And Jake Birnbaum from Pear Tree Ranch, who is hugging him there. Jake has been a friend of ours and been on the show, and he's a great guy. Yes, he actually took Flynn to the hospital for me when Flynn was sick. Jake is a great guy, good friend, and was right there helping Tick through this whole process, and they have worked together, and it's just really exciting to have one of our local guys. And we are going to grab him next week for an interview when he's not on the run, and spend a few minutes. We're going to have tea with Tick, right?
Tea with Tick,
and let him share a little bit of his experience with us of what it's like to go to Road to the Horse and what it's like to win and get that.
Might be a little different what you think tea with Tick is.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking sweet tea, but you're
Well, I'm thinking sweet tea, but hot. With milk
and
stevia or raw sugar, because that's, after I've eaten all my Easter eggs, that will be all the sugar that I can probably have. We're going to remind you about the hay giveaway. Two wonderful partners got together to do this, and that is Pat Myers Electric and Larson Hay, Idaho's finest.
And the Spark of Ocala.
The Spark of Ocala, right.
Pat
hay
Myers.
and horsepower drawing is at the two Larson Hay locations in Ocala, the one on 16th and the one on Highway 27. You can stop in and drop your name in to win this $250 hay
No
credit.
obligation. You can check that you aren't interested, or you can check, I'd love a free evaluation to come out.
And Pat Myers will come out, walk your barn, check out anything that could be dangerous, that could cause a fire, or any hazards that you may have. And as Pete said, no obligation at all to buy anything, but how great to get your barn checked out, and you could win $250 hay credit at Larson Hay.
I got my name in.
You got your name in, so that's awesome. So very, very, very good stuff there. I'm going to mention Larson Hay hours again too. They changed a couple weeks ago, but something for you folks to know and remember. They are now open at 7 a.m. on weekdays until 5:30 p.m. and 8 all the way till 2 on Saturday, which is phenomenal for us that
and
work.
Sunday closed.
They need a day off.
Yes,
we love our Larson Hay. We got to go to break. We're going to come back with Sharn Wardley and Tommy Defense Turner. So stay with us. This portion of the Horse Talk Show is brought to you by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Our television broadcast sponsor, Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and supporting sponsors DAC Minerals and Vitamins, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip, Piranha, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, and Ocala Dog Ranch. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
Equestrian. It's not just a word but a title. It comes paired with hard work, discipline and talent. LipChip is a company built by equestrians to make life at the barn a little easier. Introducing the Hooflink system, powered by LipChip, where a microchip becomes a secure key to unlock temperature, register for your next event, and keep track of required documents. Simply implant, scan, and unlock. Equestrians, the future is here, and the future is LipChip.
The team of professionals at Equifence of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing, offering great communication, quality fencing, and all done in a timely manner. Reliable service with horse safety in mind all the time. Also offering customized residential, vinyl, wood, aluminium, and chain link fences services. Equifence of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe. For more information, find Equifence of Florida on Facebook now. Broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second segment of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Martin here in the studio with Dancin Pete Roda.
Well, we've been spraying piranha to get the flies away.
So there was some rubbish in the studio over the weekend that did not get tossed in the dumpster, and it attracted some small flies that have inhabited the studio. So if you see things flying by, so during the break, Pete put some piranha up, and then he added a little load away.
So it took the smell away.
The fly smell away. Anyway, we mentioned Neil earlier, and in case you were curious about what English Easter eggs are, we thought you might like to see Crunchy, which is my absolute favourite, Cadbury's of course, Malteser, which is probably my second favourite. Well, actually, it's a close tie between Maltesers and Dairy Milk Buttons, which do really melt in your mouth, and they are amazing. And so this is Happy Easter English chocolate. I'm very, very excited to have, because I didn't think I would have any this year. We have got to switch it up now to some professionals in the equine world. We are going to take it to Sharn Wardley and Tommy Defence Turner. We hope you enjoy this interview. Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television, and I am here with Olympic equestrian Sharn Wardley, and also have Tommy Turner here from Equifence. And Sharn, first of all, thank you for having us here today. It's absolutely incredible facility. I've already got the tour and am in love with it all. It's beautiful, the layout's fantastic. But walking around and looking at the setup of the paddocks, and Tommy said earlier park-like setting, and I turned this corner here and looked up behind and said, wow, that's beautiful. Talk to us a little bit about the layout and about working with Equifence to make this really park-like setting.
Yeah, it wasn't easy because it's sort of a triangle-shaped piece of property with a pond in it, so it's not easy. So that was what was really great working with Tommy, was because he spent nearly 3 days with me designing it and stringing it and coming up with the solution that worked, so we could have straight laneways because they had trees in it but still make the paddocks the right size, It was no easy task, but it came out really well.
I see that. I think there's 14 paddocks altogether here. In actually not a huge acreage, yet it feels very spacious. These feel perfect for turnout, for show horses, because they can get out, get some grass, have a little run around, but not get in too much trouble and be safe and secure. But you've also got these lovely wide lanes that you can ride in between or even drive in between, which is lovely.
Yeah,
it's a fantastic setup.
Yeah, we have about 50 horses here on 15 acres and a 70,000 square foot arena. So, in 14 paddocks. So there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on,
acreage.
and it looks amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
That's very hard to do with all of this.
Yeah.
Tommy, talk about the importance of laying things out for your clients. Equifence, you're going to go in and you're going to get paid by the running foot. So the time that you take to lay out is sort of almost unpaid, but so important to you to get it right and to make it look this beautiful.
Absolutely. I mean, we look at what's going to work. You have to have the function first and foremost. I believe it's got to be function. Your longevity of you using your property and your paddocks and being able to get to the gates where you want them to be and coming out of the barn, accessing everything. And then taking that and making it look gorgeous.
Yes.
It takes time. It does. It's not just to go, oh yeah, we're going to put this here, we're going to put this here, and it's going to be what it's going to be, and everything's going to be happy in the end, because it's not going to be the way that it works out in the end if you don't take the time to really pull the measurements and pull string line and make sure, get the property owner's approval many times over and over again, go through with the property owner, making the changes, getting their idea, pulling what they want out of their head, back and forth, 3 days. I'm pretty sure
it's planning,
yeah. I mean,
to get the radius.
And I say 3 days, but Sharn, even after the third day, I know we changed it once or twice afterwards.
Yeah, probably more than likely. But what was really good working with Tommy is his interpretation of what I needed as the client. So he could interpret the things that I was saying in the way that I could visualize it, and not everybody has that ability to do. So that for me was the selling point. That's why I do all my work with Tommy now.
Communication skills are very important, because you may see something that you didn't visualize it that way. And what's nice is if you tell him that, he's going to look at it and go, maybe you want that differently for a reason. But he understands, he can empathize with that. And his OCD is amazing. I mean, he can see a board 1/8 of an inch off,
It is imperative that the client is comfortable talking with the contractor. Me, anybody, doesn't matter. If the client's not comfortable talking with the contractor and saying, hey, I don't like this, that contractor has to be able to accept that, because that person, one, is paying the bill,
right? And
they have to look at it every day. As a contractor, once we're done, we're out. We don't see it unless we have to come back for something. And as much as we love our clients, we'd rather come back to have a drink or eat dinner with them, not fix fence again.
Right.
So communication is huge. You have to be able to be comfortable talking with your contractor.
Well, and this is impressive, because as I was walking around with Tommy, Sharn, before you were here, he was like, we put this tree here because of this, and this radius matches this radius over here, and, we wanted this tree here because look, and I wanted this tree in the center. And it was like it was his place when he was talking about it. And I think that's really important, because if he doesn't drive in here and love it, then he's not going to be proud of the work, and you're not going to be happy. So I saw that in him when he was showing me all the details. It was like he was excited about them, and I think that's what makes him good at what he does.
Sure.
And Sharn had a lot of help. I mean, he was a big part of getting it the
design.
Way it is.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, and what was good, again, this is he's going to need a bigger cowboy hat when he's finished this interview. But what was good is when something didn't look the way I thought it was going to look and I wanted to change, he didn't roll his eyes. It was a can do. Okay, well, I agree with you. Let's change it.
Yeah.
And to me, that goes a long way, because most people roll their eyes and huff and puff when they have to redo work, which I agree. I feel the same way. But I like that.
Yes.
When it's like, yeah, I agree with that, doesn't quite look right. Let's pull it out and do it again.
Yep.
And
that's important. So if you can give us an Equifence endorsement, you kind of have already.
That wasn't one.
Yeah, that was it. But if you had a sentence, you could say for Tommy, just working with him, just the ethical side of it.
Well, the ethical side of it, he always did exactly what he said he was going to do, which isn't always the case. The quality of the work I was very happy with. But as I said, there's lots of good fences out there. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of people that can build really good fence. And there's plenty of people who turn up on time. And it's a fairly saturated market, fences. The things that are important is what I said was the ethical aspect, which was good, always doing what you say he was going to do, and spending the time to get it right, the way that from an aesthetic standpoint. Yeah. And those were the important things to me.
Yeah, and aesthetics definitely worked well here. So excellent. Louisa Barton here with Sharn Wadley, and I have Tommy Turner from Equifence for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television. This portion of the Horse Talk Show is brought to you by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, our television broadcast sponsor, Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and supporting sponsors DAC Minerals and Vitamins, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip, Piranha, Pat Myers Electric, Florida HVAC Services, and Ocala Dog Ranch.
Faulty wiring is the leading cause of barn fires. I'm Pat with Pat Myers Electric. Equine facilities have special electrical needs. The knowledgeable and licensed team of electricians at Pat Myers Electric will ensure that you can achieve your vision for a beautiful, safe, and functional horse facility. From new construction to rewiring and updating, the Pat Myers Electric team is ready to jump in and help keep your horses safe. With a small farm of our own, we truly understand the unique concerns of the horse owner. Don't take chances. For all your current barn needs, go to patmyerselectric.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hey, this is Buck Brannaman. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with Dancing Pete Roeder from Complementary Horsemanship. And we're going to start a little bit of chatter about some of the shenanigans that went on at All for the Horses Expo at World Equestrian Centre. I hear you had a little shenanigan.
Me? Shenanigans? Heck yeah.
What was this?
This is Funky
Unicorn. If you're
Unicorn.
listening on the radio, this is a unicorn.
Blow up unicorn.
Blown up, brightly coloured as unicorns often are. And Dancing Pete Roeder is running through the expo hall with said stolen unicorn.
He followed me. I can't say he was stolen.
Well, they always follow you, Pete.
That's
don't
right.
They follow you
and
because they what is that? That's yeah. They've connected.
That's right. They've connected. And then there was a stall handy, so Pat
You
Myers...
went to get a stall. You were actually just doing the good horsemanship thing to do.
That's right. Pat Myers Electric had a stall, so we needed a unicorn in the stall.
Unicorn was a little wide in the rear there,
That's
but
right.
there we go, and look at that. Pat Myers Electric. I love it. And speaking of Pat Myers Electric, that's actually very good, isn't it? Speaking of Pat Myers Electric, we actually, you had a little chance to learn a bit at the expo.
Oh, yeah.
So here's Pat and Pete.
Hi, Dancin Pete Rhodey here for the Horse Talk Show, and we're here with the Spark of Ocala, Pat Myers Electric, and we're here at the expo, and we're checking it out. So, Pat, you kind of got big, and you stayed at home.
Yeah, we did. We built a little stall here to kind of show people the right and the wrong ways to set up your stall. Now, if you can see over here, to my right, we got some exposed outlets. We've got a fan that has an open motor, and we're kind of going to display why that's such a bad thing. In that open motor fan, it has all exposed live parts, so any dust, debris, things that get into the fan blows right into your horse stall, just like this. Go ahead, Travis. All that confetti, all those little red dots are potential fires, potential embers that could go into your stall full of hay, full of shavings that are just a tinderbox for mistake. We also have an exposed light fixture in here that has glass bulbs. Now my friend Sparky here might get spooked by something and rear up, and now there's glass falling down in his stall, getting all over Sparky and all over the floor of the stall.
Wow.
So those are the things we want to avoid. On my left are all the things we want to have. And I'll start with the light fixture. The light fixture up here is completely sealed. It's weatherproof, vapor-proof. It has a cover on it, so no matter how much Sparky bangs his head on there, it's not going to break. It's completely shatter resistant. There's no glass bulbs at all. It's the right thing to have in your stall. We also have our fan mounted up high, our outlets up high, so Sparky can't reach up there and start chewing on the outlet because he's a very curious guy. He wants to explore things and chew on cords, but he's not going to be able to do that. Also, the fan is completely sealed so that no debris is getting on the inside. We got a couple devices on the inside that are very important. Travis, tell us about what we got on the outside to help keep us safe.
Okay. So yeah, my name is Travis with Pat Myers Electric, and what we do at Pat Myers is we remove all of these extension cords and the ability for things to get into them, and we encase them in conduit. We run the right wire that's meant to be in conduit, that's meant to be outdoors, but it's concealed so nothing can get to it. For this case, we don't really want you to have to plug and unplug your fans to get them to operate, so we actually install switches for them, and that's actually what makes things work in the electrical field, so that we're not leaving exposed wires in any situation. For this particular case, this is actually a weatherproof case. It's meant to be outdoors, so that no moisture, critters, bugs can get inside of here, and then the lid's closed. Obviously, this is the light that he was talking about, and this is a shatterproof light. This is a vapor-tight light. Once again, nothing can get into this, and at Pat Myers Electric, we install the highest quality in the electrical field. Thank you.
Wow. So, Pat's team can do just as well as Pat can, and all I got to say with this demo is, you've heard of Magic Mike, we got Magic Pat now with all the sparkles going off. So we're here at the Horse Expo. Come out and see us, and we'll see you next time on the Horse Talk Show.
That was a fantastic demo. What a wonderful idea putting that stall in there. Hats off to Pat Myers Electric and his wonderful team, Sarah and the crew. They did an amazing job.
Man,
and actually, there were some other amazing folks at this expo. And all for the Horses Expo and Seminole Feed in their 90th year, by the way. And I'm going to mention them again later because they've got a special event coming up. But in their 90th year, can you believe that? Making feed right here in Ocala is amazing. And that was Angie there, Teddy Crawford, and she is an absolutely incredible advocate for safe feed made in the mill here, and well done to them. And we had some other good friends of ours there. My dear friend Christiana was there, and she had equine cool down booth there, and gosh, we met a lot of really amazing people, didn't we?
Yes, ma'am.
We really did. We met some fantastic folks, made some new connections. Definitely a place we think we need to be next year.
Yeah, I think we should be in there interviewing people that have products and interviewing people walking by, and you never know, we might have a few horsemen we invite.
Yeah.
Have a talk with.
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. And of course, in our next segment, we're going to have a couple of phenomenal horsemen that we had a few minutes to chat to after Team Ireland won the Longines League of Nations. But what an amazing event World Equestrian Centre put on. That's the very first time World Equestrian Centre has ever hosted a Longines League of Nations. And can I say, wow, I saw Justin wipe off his forehead like this at the end of the evening, like, wow, we did it. We did it. But it was really an amazing event. Wow. I mean, everything was so professional. Everything was so well done. Everything from that first parade that we saw of the different athletes out there with their flags out in the arena walking. It was a really wonderful, the national anthem for the USA was beautifully sung by a wonderful young lady. I didn't get her name, but she did it much better than Pete does.
Oh, thanks. That's not saying much.
And overall, I can't believe they had so much going on in that one weekend.
And what I really liked was, you go to the jumps on Saturday, they had all sorts of whales coming out of water with flowers, and they had butterflies. I mean, they went to the nines with these jumps, and they were pretty difficult.
They were.
Jumps. It was a lot of fun to watch, and the team thing was really neat.
Yeah,
that it wasn't just
teams.
one person trying to win everything. You had teams of 4, but 3 of them were only chosen for their scores, and then they moved on to the next round. So it was really interesting.
It was tough competition. It was actually 18 of the top riders, international riders from all around the world were there. The actual 18 top riders were there. That's quite an accolade for such a incredible equestrian centre to have all of that going on.
And
at
it's
one
the
time.
only one in the U.S.
Yeah, it's the only location in the U.S. There's 4 Longines League of Nations competitions up to the finals. The finals is the 5th stop. So to be one of those top 4 was really quite an achievement. And
that's why they call us the horse capital of the world.
World Equestrian Centre, well done.
Yes.
We'll be back in just a minute with a couple of the team from Ireland. Stay with us. Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Hey there, horsemen. Are you tired of technology that doesn't fit your way of life? Lip Chip is ready to revolutionize your barn. Built by horsemen, for horsemen. Lip Chip knows how you ride. If you're tired of carrying around paperwork, dealing with long trailer lines, and juggling all your horse's details while trying to compete, then the answer is the HoofLink system. Simply implant, scan, and unlock. Each scan reveals everything you need to work, compete, and to protect your horses. View current health paperwork, pre-register for your next event, and even check in on your horse's health. Horsemen, let's keep our horses safe and make our lives at the barn a little easier. The future is here, and the future is Lip Chip. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Equine Performance and Innovative Centre, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centres for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer and more. Epic equine veterinarians specialising in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever heard of a horse that can talk? Listen to this. With your host, Louisa Barton. She's literally in love with every horse. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. She's back in the saddle again. And now here's your host,
Pretty.
Louisa Barton. She's a Brit, she's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
So Pete, Dancing Pete, and I were at the press conference, and I told him I had just texted the chef de keep of the Irish team, and he said, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, the chef de keep of the Irish team. I met him at Hits a couple of years ago, and we chummied up, you know. We chummied up, the Irish and the English, you know. And so we had a quick interview. We had a few minutes by the bathroom, of all the places to pick. But we had a little chat with him, and he dropped the flowers, you know, that they got the flowers with the watch, you know, with the timepiece. And so I held the flowers, and we did a nice little few minutes of chit-chat with Michael Blake. Here it is. I am here with the chef de keep, Michael Blake, of the Irish team, and it cannot be the luck of the Irish because it's the skill. Seems like every time I talk to you, you're the winner.
Well, I hope that continues.
I know, right?
Yeah, we're not bad.
You're not bad, no.
But I'm a very good bunch of riders, and you know we've developed them over my tenure for the last 12 years, from starting with young riders, and you know, things have improved. We now have a very great base of riders. As I said at the press conference last year, we used 37 different riders.
Amazing.
And one on 4 different continents, and it's hard to do.
I know, right? So tell us about the persuasion. You had to get Shane in there when you had a last-minute incident.
I don't get many days off, but I decided to go to the beach on a Monday, and I get a call from Bertram when I was in Dunkin' Donuts, and I got a call from him, and I didn't enjoy my donuts at all after that.
No.
Because he said, my fall is worse than I thought, and I can't go. And like, the horse was to leave in 4 hours to go on the plane. So I thought about it for a minute. I rang my guy who helps me, and we tossed about 5 or 6 probabilities and possibilities, and you know, we came on the experience of Shane, and I rang him.
And you talked him into it.
He wasn't up for it, and I rang him back, and I said, "Not really asking you.
I'm telling you.
This is how it's going." So he said, "I'll ring you back." So obviously, you know, he had to talk to the owners because, you know, the horse had never been exposed to anything like that before. But I saw him jump in Wellington, you know, 2 weeks previously, and he jumped clear. And I said, you know, we'll get one round out of him, and hopefully the other guys will do their job, and he won't have to go twice. And it worked out that way.
And Daniel Coyle's been just incredible lately, hasn't he? Live Oak International last weekend with Legacy on the Irish weekend. It was amazing. And he is just really, gosh, I think he's won 5 Longines timepieces now.
Yeah, I'd say you could add 1 to that. I'd say a bit more like 15.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel,
well, in the last year, I think.
Yeah. Daniel loves Nations. He's like me. He just loves Nations Cups. We all love Nations Cups. And, you know, we kept our horses like, we didn't, probably notice we didn't jump our horses on Thursday night. We sat it out. We brought our other horses because we came here to do one job. And we minded our horses.
And you did it.
And we did it.
What did you think? The competition was tough. The finest riders in the world.
I haven't seen a Nations Cup as good as that for a long, long time.
It's amazing.
It was amazing. As they say, 18 of the top 20 in the world here.
Amazing.
Pretty good.
Tell us about Wet. What do you think? Wow.
Disneyland for horses. I've been here. I've been here many times, and the effort they put in, nothing. Like, it's a shine off the floor. There's nothing not done here.
It's incredible.
It's just unbelievable, and we're so thankful for them. And the way they've looked after us and put us up in this nice hotel and fed us, and we're going to give some drink now. So.
I know, right?
And I don't even drink, but
off to the Yellow Pony.
Off to
Well,
the
I
Yellow
wore
Pony.
green for you, so I was supporting.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Micheal Blake. It's lovely to see you again. I always see you when you're a winner, so
Thank you so
I
much.
love that. And on to the next. Is there a plan? Just to win.
Well, we have Rome. Rome next is in the end of May. We won Rome last year, and we took 99 years apparently to win it. So now that we've figured out how to win it, we'd like to keep winning it.
The Irish, the skill of the Irish. Louisa Barton here with the winning team. Micheal Blake for Ireland, very excited for him at World Equestrian Centre for the Horse Talk Show and Equus TV Network. And straight to international show jumper Daniel Coyle. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television, and we are here with the winning team, Ireland. Daniel, it's exciting. It's been exciting the last couple of weeks for you, rather, hasn't it? You're wearing this very appropriately. Tell us a little bit about this competition, the Longines League of Nations.
It's a different format, obviously. To win yourself is a big achievement on a horse that you practice every day on. But to win as a team is something completely different. And with this format where you can change a rider in and out, Michael's done a great job tonight. He's planned it really well, he's figured it out really well, and the result shown that, I guess.
Now, the Irish have been rather victorious, and St. Patrick's Day weekend last week was very exciting at Live Oak International. How did you kind of prepare with only a week in between? That's a lot, and having such a huge victory there over amazing riders, and then the top sort of 18 or 20 riders in the world here today. You had a lot to get ready for.
Yeah, I did. Legacy in a few World Cups already in the beginning of the year, and she was in great form and winning form, so I thought if I can keep her at that point. And she's really opinionated, and she really likes to go to the horse show. So I actually took her to Live Oak last week, and she did some of the smaller classes just as a warm-up and to take out all the anxiety and excitement. And I think it worked out well, actually, when you see it tonight. It was incredible to win on, incredible last week. But the plan was always to be strong here with Legacy, and thankfully we were.
Tell us a little bit about Legacy.
She's a mare, and she has her own attitude about it. If she don't like something, she's going to tell you right away. And it's took me a long time to figure out what way she likes to go best and what she likes best, and very, very simple things, but she really lets you know, and it's took me a long time to get to that point. But if you're doing something that you want no other rider to do, you want to do it on Legacy.
Incredible. What about going forward, the next League of Nations competition? Any thoughts about that? Obviously the competition's extremely tough, but you guys have always excelled at Nations Cups, and obviously doing the same here with this League of Nations.
Yeah, we will. Legacy will have a week or two off now, and then probably go over to Jerome Double Down Space in Europe, do some shows in Europe. Incredible, we'll go to Wellington next week, and then we'll take a few weeks off. Everybody will have a deep breath and reorganize for the summer.
Wonderful. Well done.
How many watches does he have?
Incredible. Yeah, how many watches do you have? Do you know? I know you have 5, like in the last little short span.
If I'm telling the truth, I don't know.
You lost count.
No,
It's like when you ask how many horses you have and you don't know, it's a problem.
Yeah. No, I like to. I have a lot of different watches for a lot of different reasons, and I try to give them to people that are quite special to me, because I can't wear them all. And I will have a nice cabinet for sure with a lot of nice watches in it. But anybody that I really respect, I will give one to, because it'll mean more to them, and they will remember me better than me just having another watch.
That's right.
I'll keep trying to collect.
I love that. Well done. Congratulations. Awesome job. Awesome.
Super nice guy.
Awesome. Yes, he was so nice. Very quickly, we want to show you team kicking, because we think it might have something to do with winning. When teams kick a lot.
Yeah, we know. Louisa noticed that all the teams kicked except for England, and they ended up last.
Yes,
but the people watching the other teams were kicking in the background.
That actually wasn't the Irish team, but the Irish team kicked a lot. So there must be something to watching and kicking. And I actually did ask Micheal Blake, and he said, we think it helps them get over the jumps better. I love that. We have to go to break. We will be back with Pete and the Mustang. Stay
Stay with us.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equigreen, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. The team of professionals at Equifence of Florida specialize in equestrian fencing, offering great communication, quality fencing, and all done in a timely manner. Reliable service with horse safety in mind all the time. Also offering customized residential, vinyl, wood, aluminium, and chain link fences services. Equifence of Florida, quality fencing done right to keep your animals safe. For more information, find Equifence of Florida on Facebook now.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equigreen with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equigreen came to life. Equigreen, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
Does your farm need a facelift? Has the harsh Florida climate left your barns, stable doors, and fences stained? J&S Pressure Washing has a professional team who can exceed your expectations and restore your farm to its former glory. Get rid of dust and cobwebs that can cause allergies and health issues for horses, and keep your horses safe by limiting fire hazards in the barn. J&S Pressure Washing can clean your house, your barns, your fences, and your driveway, and you can count on dependable and professional services. For more information, call Stephen at 352-502-5355.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
This is Charlotte Cannon, and you are listening to the Horse Talk Show.
We're here with Flynn, and we're going to go through the blocks. So we're going to start off with block 1, playpen of safety. So block 1, 3 parameters: stand relaxed on my frizzy with a focus not on my horse, and stay out of my space, don't pull into the rope. So if he's in my space, I'm going to do what's called tick-tock. So I'm going to turn away, life up, stick in the air, string in, on my belly button, tick-tock in a circle, pivoting on my inside foot, height of his nose, until he gets out of my space. As soon as he gets back out of my space, I go back to my old focus and I let him have as much rope as he needs, except for the end of it. So now he's back in again, so I turn away, life up, stick in the air, put it on my belly button, tick-tock, pivoting on my inside foot, height of the nose, and out of my space, and then I turn back to my old focus. So what we're doing is creating space. So what I've learned through horses is space really means the world to them. They don't understand why we allow them in their space 1 second, and then we're now going, oh, you're too close. Well, 5 minutes ago, I wasn't too close. Now, if I invite him in, then he can come into my space. But if it's no invitation, then he needs to stay out there. That way, if he's scared, where's he coming? He's coming into the open invitation. So I'm creating this bubble, and he's going, oh, you're like another horse, okay? Now, if he goes to pull on the end of the rope, then I'm going to get it in what's called power position. Stick in my left hand, string in, ski pole position, into the rope with my right hand, top of my fingers with my left hand, behind my right hip, right foot on the frisbee, turn, left shoulder, left hip towards the horse with the rope in front of me. Big saddle position, point my left toe, bend my knee, and be a fence post, not pulling back or leaning. Just he's got to find that on his own, and I'll pivot around following him with my left shoulder and left tip of my foot if he starts making circles. So those two parameters is all we're asking. He can do whatever he wants between those two bubbles: walk, trot, canter, gallop, buck, lay down, whatever he wants to do, as long as he's not in my space or pulling on the end of the rope. This is our observation time. This is where people don't do enough of in my book. So here he comes in, he stopped where he thought the bubble was, and I'm just going to show him exactly where the bubble is by tick-tocking. So he was about 3 or 4 inches into it. And I'm nonchalant. This isn't, I'm attacking him. I'm just asking him, this is my space, thank you very much. So, observation time. This is what people don't do enough of. Then, what are we waiting for? I'm waiting for him, if he's a go horse, to stop. If he's a stop horse, to go. So if he's standing there, I'm waiting for him to move on his own. I'm not going to ask him to move. So that's what we're waiting for. Now, he might do a lot of different things, and then he stops, okay? Then I would wait 5 minutes. Well, excuse me. Then what we're truly looking for is what we call the 4 C's. Calm, connected, confident, and communicating with me and the environment. So, is he calm? Calm with me, calm with the environment? I would say yes. This is his home turf, okay? Now, I've had horses that aren't calm. Is he connected? Well, he's connected to what's going on in the environment, which is good. We want that. And he's been connected to me. Right now he's not, but that's okay. We've seen it. And then, is he confident? Yes. Is he confident with me? Is he confident with the environment? So far, that's what he's been doing. And then, is he communicating? Meaning, is he shut down and that's all he's communicating? Or he's blowing up, running around, and that's all he's communicating? No, he's got how he's standing, where his head is. He's definitely communicating. So now that he has moved a little bit and he's standing still and he's calm, connected, confident, communicating with me and the environment.
Smart boy.
Yeah. So right here, he just showed his communication is a conversation between us, because at first I had to touch him, then I went to turn and he went, oh, I know what that means. And then I showed him I was fair. So first I showed him I follow through, and the second thing I showed him was I was fair. So he's licking and chewing, that's great signs, shaking his head. He's definitely getting this. So now we're gonna do the 5-minute rule. So he's calm, connected, confident, communicating to the degree we want today, and he's moved and stood still, whatever we need. So now I'm gonna get in power position. So he finds the end of the boundary, and then he just stepped over the line. That's called catching a fish. So what I want to do is I want to come up to him, and he wants to lay down. I'm going to let him smell the back of my hand, and then I'm going to grab under his jaw and walk back to my frisbee. So unfortunately, he went to lay down, most likely, and because he stepped over, I wanted to make sure we got him unhooked, but it was the connection I want from him before I unhook him. That way he looks for a human to help him. So we've done the 5-minute rule, and then the last thing I want to talk about is in block 1 is block 1 thought pattern. And what that means is I'm allowing him to figure it out. I'm not going to help him. And that's the powerful thing. I always ask, why do horses learn the wrong thing so easily and it takes us forever to learn the right thing? It's 2 reasons. They find their own answer, and we wait longer when they do it wrong than they do it right. So we're gonna wait here to see if anything changes. And this is where people get impatient. Most people don't want to wait longer than maybe 20 minutes. I like to do block 1 for the first time, usually for at least an hour, because I really want to get a sense of what the horse is like. Look how easy that was.
He's so smart, isn't he? Catches on so quick.
But that's also because I was consistent, and that's the important part too, is you got to do the same thing every time the same way. If I would have just put it on my belly button, he might have gotten the idea, but then he's like, well, wait a minute, I can't do it sooner because you're not doing the first cue, which is turn away, then life up, then the stick. So that's the thing for us humans, is we have to be predictable, but we have to start predictable as well as follow through and be predictable. Okay. Our biggest problem is we want to skip up and just do the touch, or we want to stay at the first phase for too long because we don't want to touch them. Well, touch means something to them. Good. And this is the boring part. But for people that are into it, you're actually going to learn more at these moments than anything else. And block 1 is the most important block, because this is why they want to really stick around us. When you come out to play with your horse and you're just do this, do that, do this, they're like, oh gosh, you're the hot box. Now, for some horses, they might like that at first, but they never get that bonding moment of just hanging out like they do with their buddies. So now, you see the blinky eye? That's what I call processing. So he's going into a state of processing, and then it'll go deeper and deeper. So there's different stages of this. So
that was a nice big breath. Did you see that?
Yes, ma'am. So what he's doing is his brain is now relaxing into a state of, oh, Pete pays attention to his bubble. And this is what I've figured out through the years, in my opinion, I came up with, is I pay attention to my bubble, then I probably pay attention to the dangers out in the wild or in the pasture. So then he gets into a state of, oh, I don't have to pay as much attention now. I can go into my processing, which then causes him to go, oh, I really understand what we're doing. So there's the saying, the release teaches, and I've added to that. The longer the release sometimes gets a better understanding. So right now he's got his flagpole down, and that's the nice way of saying something is down for him. Now, a picture's worth 1,000 words. If you just see the flagpole down, you would say he's being aggressive.
His flagpole is dirty, look.
So you have to read the whole picture. He's relaxed in his body. He's not posturing. He's not chuckling like he wants to mount. We have to remember there's a muscle in there that allows blood flow to come down. So that's just a sign of relaxation. Now, some people don't like to see that, but I always say that can really, I've had geldings that have never dropped to pee, and after doing this, they start dropping to pee because it's just being relaxed.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equigreen, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton in the studio with Dancing Pete Rhoda. And we're going to start off with Complimentary Horsemanship's Tip of the Week.
Dancin Pete's Tip of the Week, brought to you by Complimentary Horsemanship.
This tip is sponsored by WildlifeWorksLLC.com for your unwanted wild critters removal.
All right.
Brought to you by Wildlife Works.
Wildlife Works. So our tip of the week is, do you catch your horse? Or does your horse catch you? So this is important. I watch people that are heading to the barn or start the ride, and I go, did you catch your horse? Did you walk up to him? Or did he come to you? And to me, that's very important because my horse might not be ready to be caught. He might need to buck it out, may do some running, that kind of stuff. Or who's showing the leadership. So if I'm walking to you to catch you instead of me going, hey, come here, let's go somewhere, that can make the difference of a good ride, a good partner, all those kind of things. Those little things that we think aren't meaning much means a lot to the horse. And where do you catch them? How many of you catch them by the gate? And then you wonder why I can't get through the gate. All the horses are standing around the gate. Well, that's because that's where they think they get caught at. They don't really look for you to catch. They're looking at, oh, here's where we get haltered and brought in to get fed or do stuff.
Such an interesting tip, considering when I left you very, very late on Saturday night after the Longines League of Nations, I went home to a snorting, bucking, running, puffing Mustang who was frantic about a nearby party that was rather noisy, and he was storming up and down the fence line, and I went through the gate and I called him, and he did not pay any attention to me whatsoever. He carried on running and carrying on and snorting and everything else. So I went back about my business, finishing the barn, putting the other two horses in, taking care of them. I went inside the house. I took care of the dogs. I completely ignored him. And if he didn't come in, I was going to throw him a flake of hay over the fence and leave him out there for the night, which wouldn't have hurt him at all. He'd have had grass, hay, and water. He would have been fine. But I've been bringing them in to preserve the grass for longer.
Right.
But I was going to leave him out if he didn't come. So after I was all done with all my other chores, I walked back out to the gate and I called him. He didn't come. So I was actually going to bed, and I was almost all the way back inside the house, and he came up to the fence.
He caught you.
Okay, now you can come in. But I would have left him out and he would have been fine. But I was not going to go after him or let him know that this behavior was going to get my attention.
Right.
He had to come to me. So
that's great.
And when I take him, when he comes to the gate, which he normally does at time to come in, I actually back him off the gate. I tell him back, and I make him get back while I go through the gate and close the gate behind me. And then I put the halter on him. I never let him barge into the gate or push me. These are all things, by the way, I've learned from Dancing Pete Rhoda.
And just walking away from that gate and let him follow you, and then
I
catch
turn him out
from...
in a different spot every day.
Every
day I go through the gate, I close the gate behind me, and then I go to a different spot. I might go to the water trough, I might go to the hay bale, I might go to the second paddock. I never turn him out in the same spot.
Very good.
See these things I've learned from you. And because people who have horses have dogs.
And we're in the Horse Talk Show is going to the dogs.
We are.
The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Neil Hennessy, the owner of Ocala Dog Ranch. One of the most important things we can do for our dogs' health is keep them groomed and nice and clean. Brush their teeth, or use a rope toy and put dog-approved toothpaste on it and have the dogs chew like crazy on the rope, and also trim their nails. If you don't do a lot of road work with your dog on some tarmac roads, their nails get long, and if they get long, they slip on the tiles. They can make the dog walk weird, throw their back out, throw their hips out. So take care of your dog. Regular grooming is very important.
Well, let's go to Pat Myers Electric,
Yes.
Spark of Ocala.
That's right.
Tip of the week.
At Pat Myers Electric, we're constantly training to be our absolute best. For all your current barn needs. Hello, Pat with Pat Myers Electric here. Time for your horsepower tip of the week, helping keep your horses and barn safe. Today I want to talk about generators, backup power. Storm season is right around the corner, and one of the main things we worry about in horse barns is making sure that our horses have water when the power is down. So the first thing we think about is how are we going to attach the generator safely to the well or the power source, making sure that all of the right equipment is in place to keep your animals and your people safe. The second thing is making sure your equipment is in good working order and that you understand how it works. Don't wait till storm season to make sure that your generator is running properly. Go ahead and fire it up ahead of time and make sure you understand the order of operations of that system. Pat with Pat Myers Electric, Ocala's premier equestrian electrician.
And since we're talking about grooming, you're wondering why my eyebrows are so wonderful. It's a little equestrian health tip. If you happen to have been diagnosed with an autoimmune thing and lost your hair and some of your eyebrows, we have the solution.
At Nirvana Medical Spa in Ocala, a pigmentation hand tool is used to create a natural blended coloration on the brows. A topical anesthetic is applied to reduce any possible experience of pain during the process. Treatment is customized per a client's needs. Lasting results may vary, but many clients experience years of permanent makeup. Become a better, brighter you at Nirvana Medical Spa. Check them out now at nirvanamedicalspa.com.
That was a pretty cool transformation, wasn't it? And it was so good that Pete didn't even know
I
that
didn't
I had
notice
that
until now. So it was really good.
And since after I spend the evening with Pete, we need a hack to relax from Charlotte Cannon, the Cannon method. And we're on number 9, which is yoga, stretching, and tapping. These
Okay.
are all good things to do.
I'm doing
to
downward
relax.
dog in the seat.
I need
I'm
to
stretching.
I
and
need-
now
Tap
the
me.
tapper.
Tap, tap. I need to do a shout out for Seminole Feed Stores who are in their 90th year, which is so exciting. They are having a sale that is coming up in April, and you really need to go celebrate with them. It is Saturday, April the 13th. This is their 90-year celebration and community tax sale. And it is Bellevue, 8 a.m. to 3, and Highway 40 West, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Make sure you celebrate 90 years with Seminole Feed Stores. We got to wrap it up. Flew by so fast this week. Thank you for joining us, whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world, or not.
Or not.
Happy horsing around. Till the same time next week.
See ya.